evening, everyone. Welcome to the Invictus Racing League. We are here, of course, for round 9 around the French Grand Prix or around the circuit Paul Ricard. Of course, my name is JCol. I'm always taking you guys through this one. I say always, majority of the time. And alongside me, it is, as I said last week, the fastest driver that I know, the quickest on the keyboard. It is Mr. Dan Vatefield. How are you doing tonight?
Coming into this one, he could be a contender for a second home win in a row.
Certainly could. And I'm very intrigued to see how it's going to go. As you said, he took the win last season, the first round of season 1 on the PC side last season. So let's see if he's able to keep up that momentum. I know there's a certain other Frenchman in here that has actually made his return. I think had a few PC issues a couple weeks ago back in USA, and he is now back. It is KangoCon. And I've raced him. I've raced him around this track, and I can tell you now, KangoCon does not want to lose at this track, especially considering that's also his home Grand Prix. So I think KangoCon, not only is he going to try and outclass the Renaults, he's also going to want to try and outclass his teammate to make sure that he is the top Frenchman, and so then people know that KangoCon isn't there to just be sort of Merc's sidekick. So I'm very looking. I'm looking forward to this. I really want to see how KangoCon does. As I said, I know what he's like around this track, and he is very quick. So I'm very intrigued. But of course, we are already into qualifying, and I'll show you guys that very shortly. Quickly just take you a run through the standings. Of course, last week Mark did manage to take the win around the Silverstone circuit. He is on top with 90 points. He can't actually win the championship tonight. At China, though, there is an opportunity for him to take the win around, to take the championship. So at the moment, it's only a matter of time, unless he ends up DNFing tonight, in which case then it's up to the Renaults or the Haas of Tommy to try and make their way through. But as you can see on your screen, Skyzy is the one that is in second place with 64 points. Scopefielder in third with 62, only getting one more point on him from last week, so gains that 1 point advantage. Now 2 points separating the two Renaults. Tommy in fourth with 50 points. Kislyak in fifth with 47. KangoCon in sixth still with 41 points. Of course, as I said, making his return after having a few PC issues. Lacquerate is in seventh with 30 points. Mysterious in eighth with 26. Finally picking up his first podium and fastest lap last week. Only just shy of, I think it was Merc, by about 2 seconds. So, well, it was very close on track between the pair of them. So Mysterious, very unlucky to not pick up the win, but I'm sure he is very happy with second place. SK Fast in ninth with 4 points, and DC rounding out that top 10 picking up 19 points was SK Fast, and DC on 17 points in 10th. Waffle in 11th with 16. Maya in 12th with 15. Ace Boy in 13th with 14. Jasco in 14th with 13. A little bit of a tongue twister on that one. Sharp, who unfortunately has actually left the league now, he is in 15th with 11 points. Undertaker in 16th with 10. After making his debut last week, he picked himself up a podium. So it was his debut. It wasn't actually anybody sort of random on the grid. Dreadis in 17th with 3 points. And then, of course, the Little rounding out that last one. Still yet to pick himself up a point. Hasn't raced the last 2 races, but he is back tonight. And I'm very intrigued to see how he is going to fare on around this French circuit. And then, of course, going on to the constructors really quickly for you guys. I'll try and keep this as short and sweet as I can. 5 points between the top 2. Racing Point and Renault. 131 points to Racing Point, 126 to Renault. It's an all-out brawl between those 2 teams. And not only that, you've also got a brawl for third. Haas, Mercedes and AlphaTauri. 67 for Haas, 56 for Mercedes, and 47 for AlphaTauri. All very close in that respect. And even then, for 6th place as well, Alfa Romeo, McLaren, Ferrari and Williams. They're all separated by 6 points, 27, 24, 22 and 21. And then of course Undertaker now taking the first set of points for the Red Bull. Maybe he's going to try and fight for that top 6 in Constructors. So again, very intrigued to see how all of this is going to fare out. But of course you're here to see the qualifying, you're here to see the race, and we will get straight over around the circuit Paul Ricard. And at the moment it's looking very cloudy.
Yeah, certainly is. That is going to mean cooler temperatures on circuit. There is a possibility of rain here. New boy Vito just about to cross the line. He's taking up that Williams position. We'll see him doing 28.3. Now, I think there can be drivers to certainly be able to beat that time, but that's a pretty respectable banker lap coming out from him there. Fozzy just crossed the line. That is, I can confirm, D Little. He has changed his name on Steam, so that is not a new driver. But yeah, they're just putting out the first wave of laps. There's Tommy, 27.4, going right to the top of the timer sheet at the moment. There's, I think, McLaren coming through the final sector. I think it's Ace Boy.
Yeah, Ace Boy is just making his way through the final sector as well. Oh, sorry, coming just starting on his lap, shall I say? As Merckx is the one that's going to be the next one across the line. Of course, our current championship leader, as I said, 90 points to his name so far, compared to Skyzy with 64 points. Merckx up to the line and puts it on pole position already with a 27.1 as a banker lap. That is very, very fast for a banker. So I'm very intrigued to see how Merckx is going to fare on throughout the rest of this one, and of course, his teammate, being the Frenchman around his home Grand Prix, not out on the lap as of yet. However, the other Frenchman is Skyzy. He's just making his way up toward, well, he's now in Sector 3, making his way around the sweeping right-hander. Still don't know the corner names of this track, but we'll roll with it anyway, as I think Undertaker's just making his way up towards the line and puts it in the 30.3, so I think that was more of just a bit of a time on the board, to say the least, for him. But Skyzy, he is going to be the next one across the line, and we will see what the Frenchman does around his home circuit. Is he going to pipe off from Merckx and maybe try and gain a bit more of an advantage? No, he also slows down to make sure that he does not put in a very good time, 29.784, and I'm assuming we might see the Frenchman go on a set of mediums.
Yeah, a lot of these drivers just put in slower times to get a delta on the board, as Ace Boy has just finished up on his lap. He's gone into third position, only about 200 ahead of Vito there in third position. Very respectable from him. SK currently coming through the final sector at the moment. He's got a racing point car, I believe, just in front of him, so a big twitch coming out of turn number 12 there. I've got a big glitch just, and now I'm in the Williams garage for whatever reason. I'm back on board with the Ferrari, but I have no clue what happened there. I think Vito's about to come out for an outlap, but SK on a set of medium compound of tyres, he'll cross the line here, and it's a 30.7 for him.
I'll tell you what though, the little at the moment on those mediums, he's gone for another lap now. We're just right, we'll keep on board with him just for the time being. But he is done a 29.6 on a set of mediums. So far, that's set him into 5th position. Of course, there's still 4 guys that have yet to make do a lap time. I'm assuming they're waiting to see what everybody else is also going to do. But yeah, I'm very intrigued to see where everybody else is going to come out. As I said, at the moment, the little in a very good prime position at this current moment, but as I said, there's going to be a few people that need to improve. There's going to be a few people that are going to need to, or that have sort of played down their times of what they've done at the moment. Skyzy and Undertaker are the 2 that come to mind for me. Maya hasn't actually put in a lap either. I think he must have invalidated on his medium run, so Maya's going to probably go in for a set of softs. Scope, I think, is also having a think about going on a set of mediums. So we've only 8 minutes into qualifying already, and well, Merckx with a 27.1 as a banker lap. It's a very, very quick lap, I must admit. Already 3 tenths up ahead of Tommy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure 27.1 is probably quicker than what I can do in my final lap, so by quite some margin as well. So it really does show the power that Merckx has. Also, I do believe he has fully swapped over to no traction control. It's hard to believe that he used to use traction control, but he's now on, I believe he still uses ABS, but still, to come off and have that pace straight away, even when you just switched it off, is really, really strong for him. The Red Bull car coming out of the garage, it is Undertaker, who really did take the fight last week to Merckx in his debut Grand Prix. I do believe he picked up a podium, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, he got 10 points for the Red Bull team, which hadn't scored until then. So he's really the saviour that they needed. He's on a set of the medium compound tyres. And I'm wondering if they're all trying to put a lap in on the mediums, because there might be range some way into the race.
There could be. I know the optimal strategy around here, I mean, you can of course do the soft to hard, but the actual, the best strategy to go for is actually the medium to hard. So that's why I'm thinking we're seeing a few guys go on a set of mediums at this present moment. And hopefully, well, I'll be intrigued to see if they are going to be, well, how they'll do in the rest of this race. Riding up over Vito, and he's riding a very nice lap so far onto the DRS straight now in the Williams. Of course, this is also his debut in this Williams car. So far into P4 with a 28.383, not the slowest of the soft runners, but as I said, a few guys down playing their times certainly. So Vito still running on board of him as a massive wiggle coming out of that chicane. Looks like he's still going to carry on, however, but let's have a look at what his time is. Unfortunately, from that wiggle, I think that's now cost him quite a significant amount of time. He's now down a 10th on his time, but we're still running on board with him anyway, as he's just making it. I think he'll be the first one across the line, keeping it as wide as possible, very, very close to invalidating on his lap. So I'm surprised it didn't, to be honest with you, but nicely done anyway from Vito. Now coming up towards the penultimate corner. And I'll tell you what, if you don't get this one right, then that's all the time gone. And straight into the pits he goes. So no improvement for Vito to do that lap. And I believe Jasko will be the next one across the line, as he's making his way around the final corner. Yet to set a time as the McLaren. Is he also going to try and drop off his time as well? Yep, he will. And it was 29.399. So I think Jasko wanted to try and drop that off a bit more. And I think he's bitten off more than he can chew.
Yeah, it's really interesting how much these guys are actually downplaying their laps. They're in the car. They spun off. That is Tommy. Right down at the... he's going backwards. He's getting himself qualified here. Oh, wait. Oh, he's not going the wrong way. I'm so stupid. I do apologise. I thought he was going the wrong way. The camera angle was so weird. I thought he was pulling off back into the first sector. That is completely my mistake. But he was on a lap, so he completely lost that one there. My brain just completely lapsed. The lapse of judgment there. Schofield has crossed the line. He's put in a time, and I believe the next driver to cross the line will be it's one of the Renaults. It's Skyzy. He's on his out lap. I'm trying to find anyone who's actually pushing at the moment. I believe Maya. Yes, through the final corner. Maya, is he going to back off on the lap, or is he going to complete it at full speed? We'll see. And he looks like he's trying to push for the end on this one. And he does a 28.6 on that set of mediums.
Very nicely done from him. But Undertaker also coming across the line at 28.8 for the Red Bull drivers. So just up ahead of last season's champion, of course, of Schofield. Maya as well going up ahead of him. Maya in a very good position at the moment, because that is going to be so far the fastest medium lap for that Alfa Romeo. Of course, Vito is looking to try and maybe go on a set of mediums, but I don't know if he's going to be able to make an improvement on that 28.3. It'll be very, very difficult, but I wonder if he will be able to fare that one on. Malc, of course, our championship leader, he has invalidated on his lap, and I'm assuming we're going to see him make his way into the pits right about now. And yeah, so he goes into the pits. Tommy also made his way into the pits, not completing his lap after having that spin. So it looks like the next person across the line is going to be DeLittle on the set of soft tyres. He's opted to go from mediums to softs now. So let's have a look on board with him and see if he is going to be able to improve on his lap time. Making his way around sector 3 as well. Just don't want to try and go too wide at that right hander, otherwise it does give you an invalidation. Keep it as tight as you possibly can, coming up towards here, out through the left, and then as wide as you possibly can. Just get the best exit you possibly can out of that final corner. And now up towards the line, the Red Bull driver, is he in the 27s? Only just a 27.970.
Yeah, on a set of softs, I do believe DeLittle has got a decent amount of pace about him as well. He's still improved by quite some margin on his lap. He's got the Williams car, Vito just overtaking him here, with only just about 5 minutes to go, just over that. We're not seeing too many drivers on laps at the moment. Only Jasko, Ace Boy, and Vito are on an out lap, as Vito's actually spun on his out lap, where Tommy did as well, but he's not going to get himself disqualified. He's going to go the right way, the same way that Tommy went. But yeah, that is probably one of my most embarrassing moments I've ever had in commentary. But yeah, Vito, probably his tyres are a bit shot at the moment. It's going to be really difficult for him to actually make an improvement on the lap.
Yeah, no, it certainly will be. And well, I suppose Vito will be our next one across the line, and I'm intrigued to see if he does improve on that lap time, because as I said, he's gone on the set of mediums. He's got 5 minutes left to go of this qualifying session, so this will more than likely be his last lap, unless he makes his way in at the end of the next lap, or even at the end of this lap, to maybe try and put himself into the 27s. Of course, as you said, Ace Boy is the one that's gone up ahead of him, and in fact, Ace Boy, did he just finish a lap, or is he going on a lap? Because it looks like he's kind of pushing.
I think he is pushing on this lap. He just momentarily shut off his ERS, so I think he is going for this lap here, as he was on his out lap as well. So yeah, I do believe that the McLaren driver is pushing, coming into this pretty fast chicane here. You're taking that, he's about 160 kilometers per hour, and unfortunately that was enough for him to invalidate coming over the curb on the, I believe, the second part, which I think is turn 8, if I'm not mistaken. But nevertheless, he has invalidated on that run, and he's gonna, if he wants to go again, he'll have to come into the pits. Seems like he's still pushing. No, he turned off his ERS, so yeah, he'll be coming into the pits or be pushing again. But I'm not too sure he'd want to do 2 laps on that set of softs because it's looking unlikely that anyone's actually going to push him outside the top 10.
Yeah, no, it's very difficult to try and do 2 laps on the set of the soft tyres. I can definitely tell you from experience now, you don't want to do that. So I'm very intrigued to see if he, well, he's obviously going to come into the pits this lap if he's not in already. Yeah, there you go, Ace Boy into the pits. At the moment, run on board with Jasko as I rode on board with Vito, but he has unfortunately validated his lap at the exit of turn 2. Jasko, again, is another one that's he's been within that midfield pack for the majority of the season. I feel like we haven't really seen too much of Jasko, however, so far, and I really want to be able to see something more in this McLaren. He's 2.5 tenths down on his time. However, when he gets up towards the line, that's going to shoot straight back up. So 2.5 tenths down on his time. That's not actually bad at the moment, considering he's on a set of or a harder compounder tyre than what he was doing on his actual lap before he decided to brake at the finish line. So let's have a look. Jasko, he could well put himself into the 28s and could very well come up close between Undertaker and Scopefielder. Let's have a look and see. The McLaren's just making his way around the final corner now and up towards the line. He's going to activate that DRS right about now. And let's have a look. Jasko in the McLaren pulls it over as far right as he possibly can. And it's no improvement for the McLarens. So Jasko really, as I said, he broke it a bit too late. And that's now cost him to the point where he's now going to be starting on the set of the softs. Unless a few other guys do improve and push him outside of the top 10. As it looks like KangoCon, I don't think he's coming out for a lap at all. Yeah, there you go, retired from the session.
Yeah, KangoCon has retired. It's not all hope is lost for Jasko because Mysterious and SK are both on outlaps at the moment. It will be difficult for Mysterious to beat his old time, given that he did that on a set of softs. I actually think he would have backed down on that one, given his pace last week. I don't think he would have done a 31.3 on a set of softs. So I think maybe if they do go quicker than Jasko, he can be put outside of the top 10. Not as Skyzy is actually pushing him a lap. He's down 3 tenths on this run, so I don't know if he'll be improving by much if he's had a banging final sector. But I don't think he's going to be improving from Skyzy. Nevertheless, though, coming up towards the line, we're kind of at the point, if you're in the pits, you're not going to be able to start a lap, but everyone is out on circuit. Skyzy across the line, and he found a massive improvement in that final sector, 28.6. That is what Jasko really wants, because now he's in 10th, and only one of the other drivers needs to overtake him.
We've got 2 drivers that are on outlaps at the moment, one on set of softs, one on set of mediums. SK and Mysterious. If one of them invalidates, it's all up to the other one. And if they both invalidate, then Jasko, well, he's going to be kicking himself for what he has done. Scopefielder riding on board with him as he's making his way around Sector 3 now. Make sure he doesn't get caught in too much traffic or anything like that as Tommy moves straight out of the way to allow Scopefielder to go through. But the Swede in the Renault, of course, last season's champion, is making his way around the final corner now. He's opted to go on a fresh set of soft tyres. Let's have a look and see where he's going to put himself into qualifying, as I believe that was Malc just making his way across the line to start a lap. But Scopefielder into P3 at 27.559, and I know he is not going to be happy with that one because he did not get ahead of Tommy. He did get ahead of the Little, but he did not get ahead of Tommy and try and split them and Mercked. Tommy, he's had a little bit of a poor performance so far. Well, since he took his win in Japan, or USA, shall I say? But I don't know. Over these past few rounds, Tommy, I feel like he could have definitely done a bit more. To the point where he started to drop off from the Renaults a bit more. So I really want to be able to see Tommy try and challenge Merckx for this win tonight. But looking on board with Merckx, I don't know if he's going to be able to. Merckx is just on a flyer up towards end of Sector 2, and he's 3 tenths off on his time. This will put him nearly at mid-26, which is going to be almost a second faster than anybody else on this track so far. Of course, everybody else are now on laps. Of course, a few guys up ahead, as I believe that was Vito that's ended up dropping it in P6. So no improvement for the Williams driver. There is, I believe, SK, who is making his way up towards the line, as well as Mysterious. In fact, quickly ride on board with Mysterious as he's just making his way up towards the line now. Is he going to drop Jasko out of that top 10? He certainly does. So Jasko's been given a lifeline into P11. SK fast coming across the line into P7, as well as Mysterious. So Mysterious taking P7 only briefly. As Merckx, well, 26.828. Our current championship leader is showing why he is our current championship leader. If my maths doesn't deceive me, it's about 6/10 separating the top two.
Wow, that is a brilliant time coming out from Merckx, and I don't think anyone's going to be able to overtake him there, as Undertaker does manage to at least drop within a second of the championship leader. D Little pulling into the pit lane. That is the end of qualifying. We're just got to wait for D Little to either retire or pull into the pit box. That is going to be your grid set for this race. Merckx by almost 6.5 tenths actually ahead of Tommy. What a time! 26.8. That is brilliant.
Yeah, that's a very, very quick time from Merckx. So, well, I'm very intrigued to see how this race is going to fare on now. Merckx just absolutely storming the field by about 6/10. Of course, it's not always up to qualifying, it's up to the race. And we'll see if our current championship leader is going to extend that gap. Skyzy, by the way, I think he only qualified down in, what was it, P7 or P6 in the end? So, oh, sorry, it's even lower than that. He's P10. Whereas Scopefielder is in third, but of course on the alternate strategy. So Skyzy, in the middle of the medium runners, Mysterious was the fastest medium runner in the end, but I'll just quickly take you through it. Merckx, of course, going on pole with Tommy lining up beside him in P2, Scopefielder in third with Undertaker in fourth, The Little in fifth on those soft tyres with Aceboy in sixth, Vito in seventh, SK Fast in eighth, Mysterious in ninth with Skyzy rounding out that top 10. Of course, those two guys at the back end of the top 10 on the mediums. Maya in 11th with Jasco in 12th, and KangoKon did not set a lap, so he will start at the very back of the grid in P13. And well, of course, on his return, I'm really surprised he didn't set a lap. I don't know if he wanted to go out on a set of mediums or just left it too late, or I'm not too sure what had happened with KangoKon, but I know what his pace is around this track. So, well, I don't know if we've been given any indication as to what the weather's going to be like, but if there's rain that comes later on, KangoKon really could flip this on its head.
Yeah, as you say, Kangaskhan, brilliant pace around here. I believe we were both actually in the race that he was so quick in. And then he did get screwed over eventually. I think it might have been in the pit stop, but enough about that, because what it really did was just prove how much pace he does have around this circuit. Bit of a controversial one, I think, for Ricardo. I think it's a really nice track actually, and it's got good flow to it. Not too sure about all the massive amount of runoff with the red and blue stripes, but yeah, it's a fun circuit, I'd say. And these drivers have got to navigate, I think, 27 laps around here. Rain is a possibility, but given the sky, it looks like it's a little bit hazy. Could be some clouds up above, and whether they get heavier in this race, well, only time will tell.
I suppose we'll wait and see. Of course, we are just loading into it now. Aceboy and Maya, of course, readying up. I'm not too sure if Mark gave the go ahead for that one, but if he hasn't, then I'm sure we'll see a grid place penalty come one of their ways. But let's have a look at what guys outside of the top 10 have gone for. I'm assuming all three of them have gone for a set of the mediums, because if they haven't, then that'd be very strange to me. In fact, they haven't. Jasco and KangoKon have gone for a set of hards, so that's. Again, I'm not surprised that they've gone for a set of hards. They'll do a hard to medium, or if they are feeling brave enough to do it, they'll probably do a hard to soft tyre towards the end of the race, depending on, of course, if there's any safety cars. But for Merck's sake, I'm sure he probably hopes that there's one either in the first 4 laps or not at all. Otherwise, that will screw over his hopes. But yeah, I mean, so far this season, Dan, it's really all been about Merckx and the two Renaults. You've had Tommy up there as well a few times. Do we maybe see someone else tonight, possibly trying to maybe make their way through?
I think we could see the two Red Bulls maybe make some gains in this one, given their qualifying and Undertaker's performances last week. Maybe those two could put in some good work together. As for other drivers, maybe on the alternate strategy, I think Mysterious being able to out-qualify Skyzy was very important, as well as Maya as well, who's opted on a fresh set of medium tyres in 11th position, the poor man's pole position. I certainly think those guys in the alt strap are ones to look out for, really. Around this track, you want to pit, if you're on the softs, you want to pit around maybe lap 6 to 8, I would say. And the mediums, probably 11, a lap 11, they'll come in for a set of the hards, and then around about lap maybe 15, the hard runners will come in for the medium tyres. So it's just about getting the strategy right around here.
Yeah, as you say, it is really just about getting a strategy right around here. Of course, it is a fun little circuit to drive around, and those soft tyres, well, they do not like this circuit whatsoever. As you said, around lap 6 to lap 8 would probably be when you make the pit stop at earliest lap 6, just because, well, those hard tyres, you think they last, trust me, they do not. They are very, very, well, they don't have like a drop off as to what like the softs and the mediums do. In fact, if anything, I think the hards actually get quicker towards the end of the stint. It's just a case of being able to manage it and making sure that you don't get into puncture territory, because otherwise then, well, there's your strategy out the window, and then it's just really a survival to the end of the line. But here we go, we've already got these 3, 4, 5 red lights going for round 9 on the PC side. It's lights out and away we go. That was very, very quickly. I was not expecting it to be that quickly, and neither was, I don't think, Tommy, as Schofield was trying to line up alongside him going in towards P2 for turn 1. Undertaker and D Little both having a little bit of exchange going through turn 1 and 2, as I believe D Little's actually managed to come out on top. Ace Boy now going side by side with Undertaker as well, as Ace Boy already getting past the other Red Bull, and Vito almost going into the back of the other Red Bull. But it looks like we've had a very clean start so far. Maya and SK Fast going side by side going through turn 4. And let's have a look and see if the man on the medium tyres is going to come out on top. It looks as if he has. So Maya now moving up a place ahead of SK. And I believe that puts him down into P9, up into P9 shall I say, as Mysterious did not have a very good start.
Yeah, Mysterious dropping down into 13th position on that set of the medium compound tyres. I'm looking to see if he's got any damage. I don't believe he has. I don't think anyone actually picked up any wing damage in that one, as there's a mistake coming out there from Maya. It's going to allow for all these cars to get past him. Jasko and Kango Con is in contact between Jasko and Kango Con, the hard runners. They're almost 3 abreast coming in towards turn number 10. Mysterious having to pull back into the slipstream of Kango Con. They're still trying to run wheel to wheel, but Jasko does come out eventually on top of that one. It was a scary exchange. I was thinking that maybe one of them would have gone into the wall, but they managed to keep everything clean despite the slight amount of contact. But it really has been the perfect start for Merc at the sharp end of the field, and he's about to come around to complete lap number 1.
Yeah, it just looks like Skyzy's already dropping out almost off that DRS from Vito already just in 1 lap. So Skyzy really needs to get a bit of a move on. Was Maya into the pits. I think what had happened was, I don't think it was a mistake of Maya. I think him and Skyzy banged wheels quite significantly. I think Maya has wing damage on his front right end plate, so he might go on another set of mediums and go for maybe a set of hards at the end of this race. Let's have a look and see on board with the Alfa Romeo driver. In fact, he's putting on a set of softs and changing up front wings, so he must have picked up that front wing damage, and well, very, very unfortunate for him, as he did have a very good start, and of course challenging our 2nd place in the championship very early on. But speaking of that, Merc, Tommy and Scopefield are already gapping the guys behind them. I think Scope was just a little bit out of touch there, but coming through the end of the first sector, well, he's caught straight back up to those top 2. And you can see the Little already struggling to try and keep up with those guys. He, impressively up into 4th position, I will admit, but he's going to need to get a move on if he does not want to be overtaken by Ace Boy or maybe even the other Red Bull come that next lap. And speaking of that, Undertaker very, very close to the back of the McLaren.
Yeah, he might try to go for the move in towards turn 11 if he wants to be brave on the brakes. He's going to stick back, stay behind that orange papaya McLaren. It's going to be very crucial. It's actually 8 points time penalty for too many warnings. That is a very common theme around this circuit. It's very easy, you could say, to actually lose out on that. But crucially, coming on to lap number 3 for D Little, he's the only driver without DRS on this circuit, aside from Maya, who's way back down the order. It's going to be very, very difficult for him to defend from Ace Boy and Undertaker, provided they get close enough. But even so, Undertaker just looks a lot quicker than Ace Boy at this point in time. So possibly he could try and overtake him before, maybe outside of a DRS zone, and then attack his teammate maybe in the next couple of laps, I'd say.
So we'll keep an eye out and see how that's going to go. In fact, Scopefield are very, very close to losing that DRS to Tommy and Merc. And in fact, I think the Swede has lost out that DRS. I don't think he has managed to pick up any DRS. No, it does not look like it. He's already used the majority of his overtake as well, or his ERS. So, well, Scopefielder, I think he's going to start to come under a bit of pressure from these other guys that are coming up behind him now as well, because he's lost that touch from them. Tommy is going to just keep on gapping Scopefielder now that he has that DRS to Merc, as Little, I think, has been put on a bit of a lifeline at the moment. He is still up ahead of Ace Boy, but only just. And I think at the moment, Little's really just hoping that Ace Boy stays behind him, so it keeps his teammate behind him, because I think he's more worried about his teammate than he is, of course, of Ace Boy. As Skyzy also starting to lose touch from those soft runners now. 1.2 seconds separates those guys as SK. Well, he's stuck in that middle of all of the guys that are on a harder compound of tyre.
It's not where SK wants to be at this point, and you can just see he's struggling really. Those soft tyres do not last very long. They wear very, very quickly around this circuit, so he seemingly is struggling. Probably with the tyres at this point, beginning lap number 4. I can't really guess where his tyres would be. I'd say they're probably in around about the 30% range. I have no clue how the tyres properly work around this track, but yeah, I don't think being in this position with all the mediums and the hard runners, it's not where he'd like to be. Maybe can Undertaker try and fight with Ace Boy coming onto the straightaway through turn number 7. I think just that DRS is really going to be helping Ace Boy actually defend from the Red Bull drive behind him. He doesn't even need to use up any overtake to defend. And yeah, no, he just can't get by.
Yeah, I think Ace Boy's also just sort of keeping behind a little at the moment as well, just making sure that he does keep that DRS, because as soon as he loses that DRS, then, well, Undertaker's just going to come and snatch that one straight up, or is he going to maybe even do it without any DRS and just going to use his DRS, or just probably under braking to try and go for a move on the McLaren. He goes a little bit wide coming around the spoon curve, but not going to be able to get any sort of move done, and so Ace Boy does hold up on that into P5 so far. Those top 2 have absolutely left everybody else. Tommy, though, all over the back of Malc, and I can really see Tommy is gunning for this one.
Yeah, he wants to attack Malc. He's just hanging in the DRS range. About 6/10 is really the sweet spot for Malc, I'd say, to actually be able to defend from the hash drive, but he's very aggressive. Is Tommy on the brakes, trying to close up a little bit of time on Malc. He's got a little bit less ERS than his Brit ahead of him, who is well, he's completely dominating this championship. He's on about 90 points. I think his nearest rival is Skyzy on 65. Can't wrap it up here, but definitely in China, I think it's probably going to be where we could see a new F1 champion crown. But enough about China, because he's managed to pull a little bit of a gap to Tommy behind him, which is going to allow for him to stay ahead. Tommy can't even make up much time at all. Only 6/10 back.
Oh, I was just riding on board with Skyzy. Vito pulling over as far left as possible. Skyzy ran straight into the back of the Williams. I don't know if that was a little bit of an illegal move. And yeah, damage for the Frenchman at his home Grand Prix. So it now lies onto the other Frenchman of KangoKon, and seeing if he's going to be able to maybe try and move up a few more positions. Skyzy, we've got to see him come in this lap, and he might end up going on a set of the hards to the end of the race, but that's going to put him massively on the back foot.
Yeah, it's about... Oh, yeah, no, he's going to really struggle come the end of the race on the tyres. He'll probably be within Punk's territory safely in that range, as SK, I'd assume his tyres are completely dead at the moment. He might want to come into the pit. He's going to stay off the time being, but he's lost 2 positions in just a matter of moments there. KangoKon not close enough to attack Vito, but I think Skyzy's got a vengeance on the Williams car. He's not even going to try and play this tactically. He's just going to go, oh, he pushed him right off the circuit. He is not happy whatsoever, and he's completely forced him off and actually given Vito a penalty. And I'm not sure how I feel about that one.
Yeah, I know it's not the smartest thing to do at all. I get the aggression, I get the anger from that, but that's not what you want to do, especially sitting second in the championship. That was a little bit aggressive from Skyzy, I must admit. And now KangoKon on the attack on Vito. He's trying to use up the ERS to try and get up behind him. And I think Vito, he might be losing out a second position to another Frenchman here. Vito's trying to hold it down that inside. KangoKon, they're holding it as far left as he possibly can. And now it's just who gets a better run. It looks like KangoKon has gotten a better run. I think Vito's tyres are definitely starting to go off now. So Vito, I think, may want to think about making a pit stop. And I think we might even see a few pit stops come this lap, as Jasko in 12th position on those hard tyres has gone round I don't know if he's got. For some reason, it looked like he had a puncture, but it doesn't look like it. I think he must have just dropped it on traction, and that is wing damage for the McLaren driver. As at the moment, we're not seeing anyone make their way into the pits. It's lap 6, and it's around the lap we'd see a few guys make their pit stop. Even Skyzy has not come in yet. As actually, yeah, there you go. Vito is into the pits.
Yeah, Vito trying to get himself out the train that he was stuck in. He was probably going to lose the position to Mysterious, but yeah, he's going to take off that set of soft tyres coming on to lap number 7. So he's really trying to undercut everyone, but he's not really got anyone to undercut. Jasko speeds into the pit lane. That is not ideal for him. And he just decides, yeah, I do understand that one as Ace Boy and D Little actually fighting it through turn number 4 here in towards turn number 5. D Little stuck on the outside line, and Undertaker could also be in prime position to pip them both as D Little losing out to his teammate. Big slide coming from Undertaker there, and he's right off the circuit, and now coming down the straightaway, down the Mistral Straight, which is one of the longest on the calendar. Ace Boy weaving, trying to break the toe, but it's not going to be enough, as D Little might also try and take another piece out of it, trying to go up the inside. Undertaker moving into 4th position, Ace Boy sticking it in 5th, and D Little losing out 2 positions there. Ace Boy still could try and fight this one back, using up some of his overtake to try and take it back towards Undertaker, but it's not enough through turn number 10. Undertaker moving up into 4th, and both of them almost have DRS to scope.
Well, this is the interesting thing. They did have DRS to scope just before they got onto that, or just before they were having that battle. I think Ace Boy really was the cork in the bottle in that one, and well, he was the one that sort of made it so that they lost out DRS to the Swede. So now they're going to be again on the back foot, try and make their way back up towards it. The top 3, top 4, top 5, 6 are in the pits, and you're going to have the Little. He's going to be double stacked with his teammate.
Double stacks are not a viable option in this game at all, and you can see he'll be just sat there waiting. And then the team have to go out and prepare another set of tyres. It's going to be hard tyres coming on for D Little there. Undertaker's gone on to another set of soft. He's trying to 2-stop this race. I'm not too sure if that's the smartest move. It'll be very quick for the time being, but those tyres will not last. So I'm not too sure what he was thinking at the sharp end of the field, which is not, of course, the full-on race lead. But I think Tango Con might find his way past Skyzy this time by, because in the DRS of the Renault car, I don't think he wants to fight him too hard actually. I think he's trying to stay behind on the hard tyres.
Yeah, look at that, the racing point, I think he's just going to remain behind him. I don't know if Kangokon knows that Skyzy has damage though. And I'll tell you what, Skyzy's doing very, very well with damage at this present moment. If he had no damage, you don't think how much further he'd beat up the road. But Kangokon is just sitting behind his fellow Frenchman at the moment. Of course, the 2 Frenchies battling at the front of the grid. And in fact, we might even see Kangokon maybe opt to go for a bit of a move coming through this right spin curve. But no, he's just going to remain behind him for now. And you can really see Kangokon's almost just pushing him through that corner. I think I'm really surprised Skyzy hasn't made that pit stop as of yet, to be honest with you. And I know he may be just hoping for like a safety car coming out or anything like that. But, well, I suppose you kind of need to make that pit stop ASAP, because then the undercut's just, well, around here is very, very powerful.
Yeah, I think he might be wise to pit. SK does make his pit stop from 4th position, so he'll be most likely dropping right to the back of the grid. Maya's actually come out pretty close to this train. He's actually in the train here. He's way ahead of D Little, of course, got massively held up. But fair play to Maya for not giving up damage very early on in the Grand Prix, I believe on the first lap. Now he's in the train for the lead of this Grand Prix. And we'll see maybe if Kangokon wants to go for the move on Skyzy, because I think if Kangokon doesn't go for the move, Mysterious will definitely try for it.
I'm going to run on board with the Mercedes driver as we just have a look. Both of these guys are going to have their DRS wide open now, and this is where we're going to see Kangokon go for the attack. His DRS is on, and that is just him breezing straight past him down the inside before even getting to the corner. Well, one Frenchman was in the lead, now the other one is now taking that lead of the race. Kangokon now into the lead, but Skyzy, look at the run he just got out of that chicane. But unfortunately, with that broken wing, that's just going to hinder him even more, and that's now allowed Kangokon to just sit, well, he's been set free. Kangokon, he can go as fast as he wants, and I'm sure, knowing him, he will be zooming off in front of these guys. Mysterious now on a bit of a back foot because he needs to get past Skyzy, especially with Skyzy having that wind damage.
Yep, he just didn't want to didn't want to take the risk, I guess, to dive up the inside of the Renault car, who still can pit at the moment to go onto a set of hards and get that wing damage replaced. It is only an end plate, so I'm thinking it might just be lime green or yellow possibly, and it's not bothering him too much. He's going to lose in time, but sticking the DRS of Kangokon here, he's not doing too bad for himself. Beginning lap number 10, he's actually trying to go onto the attack of the Racing Point car. It's very difficult to make an overtake into turn 1, but riding on board with him, he just looks so slow through there because of how little downforce he actually has. Maya pulling back into the lane to make his presumably second stop in this race. Well, it is his second stop, but I think it'll be his last stop to go onto a set of hards to go to the end.
Yeah, so there you go, Maya into the pits once again. SK Fast made his way back into the pits as well. So, and yeah, there you go, retiring from the session. So now we only have 11 cars left in this session. As well, I'm not too sure what had happened with SK, but yeah, very unfortunate for him. A few guys sort of getting close to their ERS limit. I thought I saw red flashing lights. It turns out it was just my eyes that were deceiving me. Everybody at the top 3 at the moment still has at least 50% of their ERS to play with. So they're all just going to be preserving it as much as they can. As Maya's actually left the session. Maya's also DNF'd from the session. So Maya now, well, we only have 10 runners remaining. And, well, if you finish, you get a point.
Yep, hopefully in the next couple of weeks we will be able to have better attendance. Because it's quite sad that some of these guys who are right at the top of their game, like Malc, Tommy, and Skyzy and Kangokon as well, some of them, they are very, very quick guys, the quickest guys on the PC platform in terms of IRL. Of course, I don't think they're on the level of the esports drivers. I'm not going to be nice about that for them, but yeah, I do wish they had a little bit more competition, and finishing the race really shouldn't mean points. But I guess that is just how it is. If you finish the race now, you'll get points.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate to see, but again, I suppose it is the way it is at this present moment. Look at this though, Skyzy, he's lost out of that DRS to Kangokon, and this is going to allow Mysterious now to make a bit of an attack on the Renault driver. So let's have a look. The Renault driver around the French Grand Prix, who is also French. I think it's going to be a bit of a shocking one for this home crowd, as there you go, Mysterious going straight past Skyzy and getting that move done. DRS, very, very easy overtake. And there's Maya's ghosted car, which I don't know why it's come back out on circuit, but well, very interesting.
It's just doing laps of the field. Like, he retired in the pit lane. Oh, I think he retired coming out of the pit lane, and it's just decided, you know what, let's do another lap. That is very interesting. I don't know why his ghosted AI car is doing that, but there you have it. Yeah, not too much going on the circuit at the moment. We're just really waiting for the pit stops to come out for Mysterious and Skyzy. Vito gets a 3-second time penalty. That's his second of the day, 6 seconds, as Skyzy pulling into the pit lane lap 11. Very early for him, I'd say.
I think he is getting that wing change now, though. I think he's seen it. He's losing out too much time, and he wants to get this done ASAP. Of course, he's going to need to try it. Well, he was up ahead of Vito and was up ahead of Ace Boy. So, well, sorry, in fact, around in that train with Ace Boy. So, we'll see where the Frenchman comes out, as those two guys are making their way around the final corner now. And I think Skyzy, well, he's going to come out well behind those guys. He didn't change his wing, however. Oh no, he did, sorry, he did. Apologies. I don't know, what, it looked like he didn't change his wing for some reason. I thought it was a relatively quick pit stop. But yeah, no, sorry, the Frenchman did change his wing. He does come out in 10th position, but not all hope is lost at the moment, as Maya's Ghost has made his way back into the pits.
I'm so confused what is actually happening with that car. But yeah, this guy's got a lot of work to do now. He's 1.8 seconds back from D Little, but he's not too far off the back of his rival, could you say, for this race, Vito, where they had some interesting exchanges, which I think the stewards will definitely be seeing about, and I'm definitely going to keep up to date to see what actually happened with that one there. But I think what he's really hoping for is a safety car at this point.
Yeah, no, he definitely is hoping for a safety car. These top two guys still battling it out at Mysterious. I think his tyres are starting to drop off now, as Kangokon almost breaking that 1 second DRS to the Mercedes. Are we going to see Mysterious make his way into the pits? No, we are not. So, Mysterious still staying out on these 11-lap old medium tyres so far. I wonder if Mysterious is going to go bold and go for a medium to soft strategy, because it is doable. but you really have to tyre save to be able to do that medium to soft strategy. And you can probably get away with doing 8 or 9 laps on the softs at the end of the race, so he'll need to take these mediums another 5 more laps before he thinks about making a pit stop.
Yeah, I think nine laps on a set of softs will put you well into puncture territory. As another time penalty coming up for Undertaker. He's got to make another pit stop because he's only, well, those tyres won't make it to the end one, and he's only used one compound of tyres, so we'd expect him to go on a set of mediums to go to the end. When he does that, will probably be around about where Kango Con pits as Ace Boy also gets a penalty. He's just having a quiet race down in 7th, but everyone's separated out. And aside from Mysterious and Kango Gon, who I don't think would want to be fighting each other at this point in the race, not too much is happening at this moment.
Yeah, certainly isn't anything that's sort of going on at this present moment. Of course, Tommy also just staying in that DRS of Malc. Those two guys absolutely storming the field at the moment. Of course, Undertaker having to make another pit stop. He's about 2 seconds behind him. He started to drop off from those two guys now, as he was catching them at a blistering rate. But yeah, now he's starting to drop off from those guys. But yeah, he's about 8 seconds up ahead of Scopefielder. Are both Tommy and Malc as Mysterious into the pits. So yeah, there you go. Mysterious taking that lead now. And it's all reliant on where Kango Con is going to come out. Of course, he's going to go on a set of the medium tyres at the end of this race. Of course, Mysterious going on a set of the hard tyres to go to the end of this race as well. As Undertaker is also in. So Undertaker coming in quite early. He might be going for a set of mediums now. But that is pushing it towards the end of the race. And yeah, there you go, set of mediums.
Yeah, he will. I think he'll get away with it. He's got, what, 15 laps to do? 15, I think 15 laps to do on this set of the medium tyres. Be a lot quicker than the cars in front of him. He'll be right out behind, actually, with Skyzy and D Little. But I don't think the 2-stop is probably the right strategy. If a safety car comes out now, he'll be absolutely. Well, I think he wouldn't be too happy as Tommy. Oh, that's not good for him. He picked a 3-second time penalty. So even if he does overtake Merck to the end, he's not going to be taking that win unless he pulls out 3 seconds to him.
I feel like this is a regular occurrence for Tommy. Now he'd pick up the 3-second time penalty. He'll then start pushing it a lot more, get ahead, and almost get that 3-second gap, or get the 3-second gap. It literally is usually borderline as to whether he does or not. But there's a few changes going on here. Vito and Mysterious both going at it, and Skyzy and DeLittle also changing positions here. Vito trying to go for a bit of a switchback on Mysterious, using up a bit more of his ERS, but Mysterious just has a lot more in his tank to use, and so Vito dropping now down into P7 behind Mysterious. Skyzy, as I said as well, the Frenchman getting past the other Red Bull of DeLittle. So DeLittle now down into 9th, and he's going to have his teammate up his rear. In a few laps time, I will admit, as Kango Con making his way into the pits now, and I think that's more just trying to cover off Mysterious.
Yep, so a set of medium tyres going onto that Racing Point Pink Panther car. We'll see where he comes out in comparison to Mysterious. He's just about to pull off of pit lane here, and he could be around about side by side with his rival in this race. We'll see. He's actually just about come out in front of him. Right behind Ace Boy is Kango Con, and well, on those fresh set of medium tyres, got to get a little bit of heat into them first, but he'll be right on the rear of that McLaren and surely the overtake as soon as he can. You can just see the difference in grip that he's got on that yellow wall compound. As you can see, he's getting right up to the rear of Ace Boy. He's going to have the DRS to utilise down the Mistral straight. I don't think Ace Boy wants to fight this one too hard, but 70% ERS. I don't think he needs to use it down the straightaway. He's got the option to. It's pulled to the outside line now, wheel to wheel, coming down the straightaway. Ace Boy tucked back into the stitching of Kango Con. That is P4 for the Frenchman, coming from 13th on the grid. He's had a really strong race today.
Yeah, starting at the very back, up into 4th now, of course, for his home Grand Prix. He's one more position off of getting himself a podium, and it's only Scopefielder who's 3 seconds down the road, and Kango Con being on a fresher compounder tyre. At this point, I think it's inevitable that Kango Con is going to get this move done on Scopefielder. It's just a matter of time as to when he's going to get that move done. His top 2 are now 10 seconds up ahead of Scopefielder, which is just, well, it is absolutely mind-blowing. I will admit, considering that Tommy's only sitting 4th in the championship. The fact that he's managed to stick with Merck this entire race and pull out that gap from last season's champion. Where were these guys last season?
I know, yeah. on lap 16 now. Not too much going on at the moment. Kangokon though, he has got 2.2 second gap to Scopefielder up ahead. I'm trying to think when he'll actually be within that DRS zone. I think he'll be very soon.
It is going to be very soon. I mean, look at the gap now already. It's already 1.8 seconds. I think he will have it on the next lap. I think the next lap he will have that DRS to the Renault. Just looking at how much more confident he is on these medium tyres. Saying that though, a massive slide. Although I think that might just be my PC or him lagging on my screen. I thought he had a massive slide coming onto the Mistral straight, but well, Kangokon looks like he's managed to hold it. I don't know what is going on with him though.
I'm really hoping his issues aren't coming back up. I'll ride on board with him. It doesn't seem like he's glitching about too much. I think he just genuinely made a mistake at some point here. Mysterious did manage to get past Ace Boy on that fresh set of the hard compounded tyres. So Ace Boy might want to try and fight this one back. I mean, to turn 11, not going to take the tighter line. Because I've just seen a red X next to Kangokon. Oh dear. That doesn't look like a... Oh, I think he's in AI mode.
I think he's about to disconnect you. I can see that from Mysterio's point of view.
Oh, that's heartbreak for Kangokon now. Fresh set of medium tyres. He could have been fighting with Scopefielder for the podium of his home Grand Prix, but well, he's losing out a lot of time here, and it's looking all over, and he's just disappeared for me.
Oh, he's right behind him.
What the? What?
Okay. Very, very interesting, I must admit. But yeah, well, he's in DRS of Scopefielder. For some reason, the sound just cut out ever so slightly for me just then. Tommy very close to the back of Malc, however. But yeah, Kangokon, DRS now wide open for him. In fact, on my screen, he's not opening his DRS. I don't know what's going on. Oh, there you go. Now it's open. Oh, no, it's closed again. I don't know what is going on with Kangokon, but he seems to be all over the place at the moment. And, you know what, right on board with this battle actually for the lead of this race, because it's looking like Tommy, well, with that 3 second tap on it again, as I said, it's put him on the back foot, but he is all over our current championship leader. Malc is just, well, he's praying at his fingertips that he doesn't pick himself up a penalty to start off with, but if he does, well, that's then going to put him back on evens. I think Tommy is really hoping that Malc picks up a penalty, so he's going to try every which way for him to get himself a penalty.
Yeah, Malc as a driver, he doesn't really get penalties all too often, so it is just about whether he can force him into a mistake. Can Tommy do that on Malc? I mean, it wouldn't really be if it's a mistake coming out from Malc. I guess Tommy can't really be held accountable, but that would be up to Malc, I guess, as to whether he wants to report that. But possibly Tommy could maybe just try and put him off ever so slightly, as now apparently on the lap down from Scopefielder. I have no clue what is going on with his internet.
Yeah, I have no idea either. I think it's sort of starting to sort itself out now. Kangokon is definitely all over the back of the Renault of Scopefielder. I don't know why it says he's a lap down. It just does. But he's going to have that DRS now on the Swede. So let's see if he does. He's putting on that overtake as well. You can see how much he's gaining up to the back of him. He really wants to get this move done. Is he going to go for it in towards the chicane? No, he is not. He's going to hang back at the moment from Scopefielder. So I don't know again if that's his AI that's making that mistake or if that's him. But he's just looking. I don't know what is going on with this game. I don't know if it's with this game or if it's with his internet. But well, Kangokon is looking all over the place at the moment.
Yeah, he's not been in the last 2 races because of issues with his PC, so I'm hoping that they're not coming back for him for this race. But I mean, he's just managing to go around at the moment, and yeah, I'll probably put him 2 laps down. I'd say next time they cross the line, so we just won't have intervals with Kangokon anymore. Oh, I think Vito's lost it.
He certainly has, and there's a massive battle going on here between the 2 Red Bulls as well. DeLittle and Undertaker. Undertaker going around the outside of DeLittle at the final corner, and Undertaker now up into 8th position. He's probably happy that he's managed to just somehow gain 2 positions just out of the blue. Vito into the pits. We're going to see Vito make a retirement.
I think he'd have... No, I think he's going to go in for another set of tyres. I'll try and maybe go for the softs to put in a fastest lap here. He is on a Red Wolves Red Bull tyre. Yeah, I don't think he wants to fight with anyone. He just wants to put in a fastest lap.
I suppose it's fair play, I suppose. I mean, yeah, as I said, at this point, any place that they finish is points. So, yeah, if he does just finish, gets the fastest lap, that's at least 2 points to his name. It's the same as if he would have finished in P9 where De Little is at the moment. So, I'm sure he'll be happy to take that, especially on his debut. Tommy still cannot find a way past Merck. He keeps on getting into that gap by about 2 to 3 attempts. I don't know what it seems to be, and Merck just in the first sector just seems to get away from Tommy, and then in the second sector Tommy will then claw it back, and then in the third sector it looks kind of even between the pair of them, but well, Tommy just can't seem to find a way.
I'd assume he's trying to push with everything at the moment. They're both pretty even on the amount of ERS that they have. They're about 3/10 at the moment, which just isn't enough for a Hail Mary dive bomb send really into one of the corner, well, into the first corner. Certainly you're not going to be making any dive bombs because it is a very fast first corner. Maybe this time by, the story could be different because he's 3/10 back from the Brit in front of him. Both fellow countrymen, as finally for me at least, the gap between Keiran and Scope has fixed itself. But just coming out of there, I think the Dirty Air must put Tommy off loads because he lost about 3/10, just over the sector split.
Yeah, I feel like Tommy's really just getting hindered by that Dirty Air from Merck, so I don't know what is going on with that, but I think Tommy really wants to get a move done. If he needs to do it, or if he needs to do it, he needs to do it ASAP and try and get that gap of 3 seconds. Interestingly enough, KangoCon, I don't know what happened with him. As there's a spinner that is, I believe, the little down in P9 at the exit, or on the entrance, sorry, to the Mistro Straight, as Skyzy now getting overtaken by Undertaker as well. So Skyzy now down in the P8 as Undertaker picks up a 3-second time penalty for that corner cut. So is that 6 seconds of penalties for him now? It certainly is, and Ace-Boy also has 6 seconds. Skyzy just needs to make a bit of a catch up as KangoCon's dropped back behind Mysterious.
Oh,
no, he hasn't.
There was another glitch. He's all over the shop. Is KangoCon. He's hardly used up any of his overtake, but he's right onto the back of Scopefielder. He probably wants to do it on the last lap. We've still got quite a number of laps actually to go in this race, but he's all over the place. Oh my words. Yeah, he's zipping all about the circuit, so I just have no clue what is up with the internet.
Thing is, for KangoCon, he needs to get the move done ASAP because he needs to utilise these medium tyres again. I don't know if that's exactly where he is on his screen, maybe trying to go side by side with Scope, but yeah, I mean, he is just hanging back behind him at the moment. KangoCon, well, I don't know if it's really an issue as to why he's not overtaking or what, but I mean, at the moment, he's definitely having a few issues, so hopefully they'll be resolved, well, at least for next week anyway, but I suppose we'll wait and see. Tommy was eyeing up a move on Merck this time, going up into towards the chicane. Merck, though, just getting a very nice exit coming out of the chicane, and there you go, Vito fastest lap of 30.831. So Vito, in fact, De Little's also made his way into the pits, so they're going to be chucking it out for the fastest lap of the race at the moment. Vito will pick himself up 3 points, but here we go, maybe a battle for the lead of the race. Tommy had to just back off from the back of Merck, coming through that little spoon curve there. 13 seconds now separates those top two from the rest of that grid, or at least from third position, should I say. So these two are on an absolute charge, and it's an all-out grudge match at this front of the grid.
Yeah, these two really fighting hard. Tommy wants just a taste of that lead even before it could be snatched away from him just because of that penalty. We'll see if he can possibly try for it in towards turn number 8 again, but even so, he's not close enough, I think, through the first sector, and he loses a lot through the dirty air. The long right-hander as KangoCon is right behind Scopefielder, and he backed out, I think, or well, he's all over the place, so I can't really actually pinpoint where he is on the circuit, but he's lost out again, so I just have no clue what is actually going on with him, and once again, it's becoming characteristic for Tommy to lose time at turn number 7.
Yeah, I just feel like Mertz is a lot better right at that exit there, as De Little picking up a 3-second time penalty, so that's not going to be his fastest lap for this lap at the moment. It will be the next lap. He'll have to try and go for that fastest lap now. But yeah, at the moment, Tommy, he just can't seem to find any sort of way. Although look at the exit he got out of that chicane. And look at the gain he's getting on Merc. Merc's actually going around the outside. He's having to stick to the outside line. Tommy now trying to go down the inside intervals, a swing curve. And, well, Tommy now inherits the race lead. But Merc, all he's got to do really is just stick behind the Haas. Keep it clean, keep it simple. And then that's your race win once again for our current championship lead order. That's the curve you don't want to touch, as there are more yellow flags. That is, unfortunately, Vito going round at the exit of, I believe, turn number 5.
Vito just not having a good debut race, as Kangokon actually managed to jump Scopefielder. I completely missed that one there, because what happened was that Mysterious was overtaking Kangokon, and then just out of nowhere Kangokon blipped in front of Scopefielder. So I've got no clue what's happened between the pair of them, but yeah, 2 seconds is already the gap between Scope and Kangokon. So really good stuff from the Frenchman to be able to drop the Swede by that much. And now without DRS, you'd think Mysterious is going to try as hard as he can for the move.
Yeah, I feel like Mysterious might end up getting past Scopefielder here on this straight. I guess we'll have to wait and see, as in fact I've just right on board with him now, as Merc can't seem to find his way back past Tommy at this present moment. He's just having to stay behind him. He's just going to keep behind him and just make sure he doesn't pick himself up a penalty. But Mysterious DRS now wide open for the Brit and the Mercedes. Again, not going to be close enough to getting a move done on the Swede up in front. So Mysterious just going to chill behind him for now. Coming down at the end of the Mistral straight now, coming around this chicane. Again, don't want to try and take too much curb on that one, because that can also just chuck you out, and I can tell you that from experience from Monday night's race. Mysterious just staying behind Scopefielder. I can see he wants to get the move done. He just needs to get a bit closer to be able to at least attempt to have a move on last season's champion.
Yeah, he's just got to make it stick on the DRS straight. It's plain and simple for him, I'd say. The hard tyres, 9 laps in comparison to the 8 laps on the medium tyres. Maybe he could claw some of that gap back that he's lost being stuck behind the Scopefielder, whose hard tyres are very old at this point. They are aging 15 laps. They go to about lap 19 laps, I'd say, is when they do hit puncture territory. You're getting about 4 or 5% each lap on a set of hards. So the wear isn't very strong for any of the tyres around this circuit. I think they use the softest of all of the possible compound options. But here comes actually Merc is right behind Tommy, but I don't think he'll try it into chicane. Mysterious though, 4/10 back from Scopefielder. We'll see if he can try and make this move stick. He's using up his overtake on the exit of turn number 7 and into the slipstream of the Swede. He's not close enough, but he's using up his last amount of overtake down the straightaway. Scopefielder going defensive to the inside line, now running side by side through turn number 8. They come very, very close to contact, wheel to wheel. Scopefielder using the momentum on the outside to maintain that position, but Mysterious still could come back at him on the run up towards turn number 10. He's on the outside line of that Renault car, coming through the apex of the corner now. Has he got the move stuck on the outside line? He's got the momentum. Has he got the braking power now? Still wheel to wheel through turn number 11. This is brilliant racing between the both of them, as more yellow flags. That's Vito going off. They're still side by side through the third sector. I don't believe how they haven't crashed at all, but Mysterious coming out on top.
What a battle between those two guys. Again, it's one that we have not seen too much of, as there you go, the lead for the change as well at the lead. Tommy dropping now from Merc now, and now Merc back into that lead of the race. But yeah, what a battle between those two, as I believe Undertaker's binned it at the final corner as well and tried to go into the pits. I'm not too sure what had happened with that one there, but yeah, it was just resetting the track onto the pits. So Undertaker now into the pits, and I don't think that's where he wanted to be, but I suppose he may try and go for the fastest lap on the set of soft tyres. But yeah, I mean, going back to that battle now, yeah, what a battle between those two guys, literally throughout a whole sector and a half, just going side by side. Mysterious though is the one that came out on top, and there's a very good move from Mysterious indeed to get that move done. Tommy still looking at an attack on the racing point of Merc, and Skyzy, well, he's also looking at an attack on Ace Boy. And in fact, actually, I'm going to go on board with that one, because I think Skyzy might get the move done on Ace Boy now. Of course, Ace Boy having those 6 seconds of penalties. Skyzy, no penalties to his name. Straight into 6th position goes the Frenchman, and he needs as many points as he can to try and make sure that Merc does not take this championship over at China.
Yeah, it's been a tough race for Skyzy. It could have been a lot more. He would have been up with Mysterious and Kangokon if it weren't for that wing damage. They could have been fighting for the podium, and even if the safety car came out, they'd have been very close together. But unfortunately, with the contact with Vito, and then arguably the quite silly actions of himself, where he completely cut across Vito's line, which could net him a penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct. Because I know that the rules are quite tight in IRL, which I do very much admire. The professionalism is there as Ace Boy actually pulls into the pit lane, probably because he's got nothing to lose. He wasn't going to overtake Skyly again. Why not come in and try for a fastest lap? Because he'll have one more lap to do it.
And to be fair to him, Undertaker had that spin on that last lap, so he's going to have at least a gap between himself and Undertaker. So yeah, Ace Boy, really nothing to lose. Coming for a set of softs, come straight back out, go for a fastest lap. That's an extra point for him at least. So no complaints on that one. And well, I suppose we'll wait and see who is the one that comes out on top of the fastest lap. Is it going to be Ace Boy? Is it going to be Undertaker? Is it going to be DeLittle? At the moment, to my knowledge, I think it is still Vito. It is.
Yeah. Vito still maintaining that fastest lap. I guess they've all made their mistakes on their lap. We've seen a lot of spins actually coming out from these guys. Vito's managed to net himself 12 seconds of time penalties, which I don't think is ideal for a debut race for him, but there's not too much really going on the circuit at the moment. Tommy, I don't think he'll have much more of a fight to put up with Merckx, and it is unfortunate that he managed to pick up that 3-second time penalty. Vito's got another time penalty, so he's racking them up quite a bit today. But yeah, Tommy, I think the win is gone from him.
Yeah, I think unless Merck picks up a penalty now, I think that's really going to be all she's wrote. Unless Merck also makes a massive mistake, which I don't really see Merck doing, especially on considering on the final lap, and that he is, well, as fast as he is at this present moment. So yeah, Merck. The only mistake I can see him doing is getting a penalty, but I don't even know how many warnings he's on. I'm not going to check how many warnings he's on unless you want to do that. Yeah, I think Merckx is really taking the win on this one. Well deserved for him as well. Hit Tommy, I will admit, is giving him a very, very good fight this race, and I'm sure they'll both be happy with their pace on this track. But Tommy's going to be a little bit gutted that he picked up that 3-second time penalty when he could have really fought for that win for tonight, and was probably hoping that Merckx would pick himself up a penalty as well. But well, I suppose that's the way that racing is. If one person picks up a penalty, all it really is just to the other person and making sure that they don't end up picking anything up. As there you go, Kangokon, 3-second time penalty to his name, but Mysterious not close enough to try and capitalise on that.
Yeah, so that is not going to be enough for Mysterious to take that one off of him. But Merckx, coming through the final sector, he's driven a pretty intense race for him, I'd say. Normally he's been uncontested, but Tommy really did take the fight to him, even though he did have that penalty, just backing off at the final parts here. I think Merck is going to be around the final corner, and he hasn't done this since the beginning of the season, but it's going to be 2 wins in a row. He won in Britain, his home Grand Prix, and he sticks it to the front, and he takes the win in France at Paul Ricard. What a win from Tommy in second. Kangokon, what a drive from him to come in third.
Yeah, very good drive from Kangokon from 13th to 3rd on the grid. A little bit of internet issues on my side for him, but still nonetheless managed to get himself into a P3 and take P3. Mysterious once again very close to a podium, just unfortunately losing it out to Kangokon. It would have been the second podium of the season, and Mysterious, I think he's now starting to come alive in these last few races of the season, so I'm intrigued to see if he of course does sign up for next season of Invictus, whenever that may be. Hopefully he is also up there battling for those race wins. Ace Boy in the end does take the fastest lap, although there are a few more guys that are yet to make their way across the line. Undertaker, DeLittle and Vito, who Vito actually made a pit stop on the final lap. No idea why, because he's not going to get the fastest lap from it. There you go. Ace Boy will take the fastest lap off the race. So that is, I believe, 5 points to Ace Boy in the McLaren. So very, very good for him. And I'm sure he'll be happy with those amount of points. But yeah, top 3, Racing Point, Haas, Racing Point.
Yeah, and those Racing Point cars, they're just both really planted. I'd say they probably are neck and neck for drivers of the day. Vito in the final corner, not been the dream debut from him, but P10, it's still a point. He's done a Lightning McQueen across the line to just completely stop the car and then cross it. Don't know why I did that.
Fair enough. But yeah, well, driver of the day in game, it says Kango Con. It is very close between the two of them. I may actually would have to give it to the Frenchman. Malc, again, as I said, didn't actually put anything wrong all day, but Kango Con through that field, well, he kept it nice and clean, kept it as best as he could, and he made it work. Completely on his side, and yeah, well, that's him into third position, and I believe that will also jump him up ahead of Kislyak in the standings. I'm not too sure exactly whereabouts in the standings though, but he will. I think he jumps up to 5th or maybe even 4th in the standings. I'll have to have a check, of course, straight after this. But yeah, there you go. Malc, of course, taking a win for tonight, second win in a row, as you said, Dan. Tommy in second again, 1-2 for both of those guys once again. Kango Con from the back of the grid to third position. In fact, you know what? I am going to say he is my driver of the day. A very impressive performance from him, to say the least. Mysterious in 4th. Last season's champion of Scopefielder in 5th position. Skyzy in 6th. Scope gets another set of points on his teammate. And I think that's 1 point that's now separating both of those guys. So very close between them. But they're going to drop off quite a significant amount of points now to Malc for that championship lead. Ace Boy in 7th with the fastest lap, so 5 points to his name as well. Undertaker in 8th with D-Little in 9th. And Vito on his debut, at least managing to pick himself up a point. And then of course the 3 that unfortunately DNF'd of Maya, SK and Jasko at the back of the grid.
So that's the end of the French Grand Prix. We head to China next. China's a very interesting circuit. I don't know how many of the drivers are on the pad in this league, but I know that the pad is very, very favourable around China. I don't know what makes it so strong, but yeah, it just works somehow. So if they're on the pad, they'll probably be in a very good position coming to the race, especially if they're quick.
Yeah, no, I'm very intrigued to see how they're going to fare out and throughout these last 3 rounds of the season. Of course, I will quickly just get the calculations for you guys now. So Malc is going to be on 115 points. Skyzy with picking himself up it was P6 he picked up, so that is 5 points to his name. So that's 69 points for Skyzy, 115 for Malc. So the gap is almost at 50 points. Wait, is that right? Is that nearly 50 points?
I don't know. I don't do maths anymore. Luckily, I think it's a tell why I don't do maths. But yeah, I have no clue.
I'm just trying to figure that out. Malc, oh no, sorry, Malc's on 105, not 115. I want. That's why. Okay, so Malc on 105, Skyzy on 69. So it is about a 36 point difference between those top two. Scope gets himself another 6 points, and that will put him on to 68 points. So 1 point separating the 2 Renaults, and well, it's all down to those 2 Renaults to try and put a stop to Malc. They've only got 1 more race to do it, because Malc, I mean, if he doesn't finish in the top 3, then it will give the other guys an opportunity. If my maths serve me right, if Malc finishes in that top 3, then well, that's championship done. Malc will take that championship. He needs at least a 48 point gap. 32 point gap. Sorry, from next race, or from after the next race, shall I say, in order to take the championship. So at the moment, Malc looks like he could do it in China if he does exactly what he did tonight. Dan, any final words for the stream for tonight?
Yeah, I guess I've just got to talk about. I actually don't know what I've got to talk about, but yeah, just another really big well done for Malc for, I believe, his 4th win of the season, and of course 2 wins in a row. It really has been quite the dominant display from him. He's actually got a pattern in the standings, which I find is really cool. 1-2 races, then he got 3rd, then he got 2nd, and then he got 1 point in Italy. It's just completely reversed. So 2nd, 3rd, 1st, which is, I think that's quite interesting in the standings.
That's a very interesting pattern. Hopefully, that pattern's obviously going to break China, so we'll see what he does do next week, of course. But as I said, that is also wrote for round 9. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Make sure you guys do check out all of the social medias on, for Invictus, also going onto the website of InvictusRacingLeague.com. And as I said, at InvictusRL_ and then PSN _Xbox _ PC for the socials. Or you can just check out the actual main Invictus Racing League Twitter at InvictusRL. Or if you want to, you can also go onto Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch, which is just Invictus Racing League. The Xbox F1 stream and I believe the F2 stream are usually on the Twitch side as well. So make sure you guys do check those out. But thank you to everybody for tuning in for tonight, and we'll catch you guys next week for round 10 around the Chinese Shanghai circuit.